Hi there, I'm Sian Reeves. Welcome to Who Cares? This is a YouTube channel for you, real people and professionals, to discuss caring, a chance to be listened to and to be heard, to share some small victories, some little wins. 600 people a day are leaving their work to become carers. 1 in 5 of us are doing over 50 hours a week of unpaid care, which equals £184 billion a year, which is a whole other unfunded NHS. Who cares? I do. Today I'm talking to Danine, who lives in northwest London. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. Doing very well. How are you?
I'm good, and thank you for joining me. Now, we met through Dementia Adventure, didn't we? But you do many other things and care for your parents and for your children. And do you volunteer to do one-on-one care as well and sit with people or go places with them? Explain what you're fitting into your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I look after both my parents. They're in their 80s. They're independent, but obviously they love spending as much time as possible with me, which is fantastic. And I'll try and give them as much time as I can as well. Juggling my free spaces with my work, which is a really busy schedule, and my own home life, which involves looking after and managing the house with 3 grown-up adult children that still live at home, and a husband and 2 dogs. So It's quite a hectic time. And then I do some one-to-one support for people living with dementia as well. I am a companion to people living with dementia, and I'll spend time just sitting, holding hands, chatting, looking through magazines, and just enjoying their company.
So do you volunteer for that? How did you get into that? That's quite interesting.
Yeah, I used to do, all my work was freelance, and I was working across various different care homes in northwest London and Hertfordshire. And I was seeing a lot of different people who looked for somebody to come and support them, spend a bit of time with them in the care homes or in their own homes, maybe take them outside for a walk, go to the park, weather permitting. Lots of different sort of activities and psychosocial support that they were asking me to support them with. And because my background is in dementia, I felt that I wanted to put into practice all the theory that I'd learned through doing a master's in dementia studies. So it kind of fell into hand for me to be able to offer my support and also to give the families a little bit of a break so that they didn't feel that they had to be there the whole time. And then I just carried on doing that. So I'm still supporting some people on a voluntary case-by-case basis. If people reach out to me and they're looking for someone as a companion, I'm more than happy to go and visit and spend some time with them. And it's great. I look forward to their company. They look forward to mine. And yeah, it's kind of a win-win, really.
So what made you decide to study dementia as a master's? Were you like 18, 19 when you did that?
No, I wasn't. I did that as a mature student. In sort of the last 10 years, I studied a master's in dementia. I came into doing that because I was working delivering cookery workshops as a real foodie. And growing up with a family who were foodies as well and fantastic home cooks, having learnt from my mum and my late grandma. When my late grandmother became in her sort of older years and lived in supported accommodation, she became unable to use her own kitchen to the extent that she would have liked to, and she stopped baking. And it gave me the inspiration to actually run some support sessions for people who wanted to continue to bake in a group setting.
Yeah.
So I worked in our local community and I ran some cookery workshops with groups of older adults who no longer had the opportunity to work in their own kitchens. And I took this into care homes as an activity. And from working in care homes, I was supporting people living with dementia. And I learned more and more about dementia and became really inspired by it. I just wanted to learn more. So I decided to enroll in a master's programme with the University of Hull. And I started the master's programme while I was working as a freelance dementia practitioner. And that was the beginning of the story around 10 years ago. And here I am now.
Wow, that's wonderful, because earlier today I was speaking to someone whose mum used to be a designer, a fashion designer, and she found an outlet for her mum by drawing. and designing clothes. So she stepped back to her sort of 20s, and that was her happy honey spot, as it were. And so now this baking, that's another really great thing that some people loved to do, and then it becomes too dangerous, too complicated, can't remember ingredients. So did you have to do a fire and safety?
I had to do food hygiene certificate. I had to make sure I was aware of all the fire safety, all of the health and safety that goes alongside doing any cookery or food workshop. Absolutely. We always had to wear gloves, the blue food hygiene gloves. We always had to wear aprons. And there was no tasting. You know, no one could kind of lick the bowl. Of course, that was part of the joy, wasn't it?
Yes, that's a shame.
Yeah, but we just, you know, you can't allow people to just lick the bowl. Well, you can, but then you can't use the bowl for anything else. That's kind of like their bowl once they've done that.
Yeah.
But it was great.
How nourishing was that then? What kind of results did you get from the baking? Because that's texture, that's feeling, that's smelling.
It's so sensory stimulating. It's for touch because you're feeling ingredients. You know, you're touching flour and sugar, and there's a difference between the textures of those. You're looking at a solid when you're comparing oil to butter. You're looking at an egg and holding an egg and the fragility of an egg as you pass it round. So there's a lot of touch. Then there's a lot of smell, obviously, some of the raw ingredients, as well as the baking smells when that cake's in the oven or whatever it is that you're cooking. And the nostalgia that is just developing from smelling that cake baking, it's fantastic. Then obviously there's the taste and there's the sight. So it's very, very sensory stimulating, any form of cooking. We would use a lot of herbs. We used a lot of different flavourings. There was vanilla. Then we would talk about the reminiscence of what vanilla reminded people of. And people would say, that is ice cream. It's my trips to the ice cream van, or, you know, lovely walks along the beach with a lovely 99 ice cream, and that smell of the vanilla, you know, tickling your nose. And that is definitely the Mr. Whippy ice cream with the flake on the top. And, you know, it would just ignite conversation, stories of baking, family recipes that have been passed down through the generations, the tastes, the joy. It was just enlightening, absolutely wonderful. And I still love to do it as well.
I was going to say you should carry that on, because that's just wonderful. That I haven't really heard of baking. So with Dementia Adventure, what is your role there? Because it's all about nature, isn't it? It's all about getting outside, being relaxed, being able to go outside again, because often we're too scared to go outside anymore because of what's going to happen to our loved one, or just not going out anymore, so you lose your confidence. Exactly.
So yes, I work at Dementia Adventure. I've been with them since April of last year. And I work with some fantastic colleagues, looking at new development, new research, new innovation, putting programs in place for people living with dementia to be able to access the outdoors and connect with nature more. So that could be in the form of supporting our team who are running the supported holidays, or it also could be looking at day activities and day breaks, or even outdoor-based activities, small sports activities, just for an hour here or an hour there. So we have had some fantastic days out at Lord's Cricket Club where you came along, and it was great to meet you there.
It was great.
It was just brilliant. And just having a normal day out, enjoying watching a fantastic cricket match, sitting in that beautiful sunshine, enjoying the sights and the sounds of being at Lord's. It was just wonderful. Then we also are running this year some dementia-inclusive tennis sessions across the county of Hertfordshire. So that's really lovely, encouraging people to continue with physical activity. We've got the same in partnership with Golf and Society, and we're running some lovely golf days across the UK. So some coming up in Yorkshire at the Rudding Park Golf Club. I'm not sure if you know that one. And then also in West Sussex, we've got Goodwood Golf Club in Chichester that we're working with.
Very nice. Well, I remember at the Lord's one, I was so worried when you said, and now we're going to take them to have a go in an indoor area. And I was thinking, how is this going to work? Because a lot of the people there were, you know, obviously look elderly, Once you'd got them sitting down, that was quite a big thing, finding the toilet, coming back and sitting down.
Yeah.
But when we actually went to the indoor event and it was all, people were there to help, I was really shocked at how well everyone became active.
Yeah,
Suddenly became active, remembering how to hold the bat, because we had people there who used to play cricket, people there who used to go with their parents, so perhaps didn't play but loved the sound, loved the green, loved the look of it. But seeing the ones catching and hitting the ball, and so to do that with tennis and golf as well is just brilliant, because you'd perhaps be scared of going to do that with your loved one.
That's right. I think it often happens so much that once you have a diagnosis of dementia, you feel like you no longer can continue to do the things that you once loved.
Yeah.
Or perhaps it's something new that you want to try. And with the right support, anything is possible. So at Dementia Adventure, we're very much working with partners. They might be national sports venues, or they might be national arts or culture venues. And we're helping people to change the attitude and create more inclusive opportunities for people living with dementia to participate. We're there, our team's there, we're training people, we're giving them more awareness, we're helping them to think less of the risk that's involved in getting people physically active and looking more at the ability that people still have and encouraging that physical activity. We're very much focusing on the outdoor space or a garden as just an extension of the inside.
Yeah.
Just because you're crossing over that threshold, it doesn't mean that, oh gosh, this is a big risk now. Now we need to be really careful. Let's wrap the person in cotton wool.
Yeah, so not do anything.
Yeah.
And all the oxygen you get and the warmth, especially now we're getting these summer months. Thank you for listening to Who Cares. I'm talking with Danine right now, who works for Dementia Adventure. If you're enjoying listening to Who Cares, please subscribe. And if you want to get in touch and share your story, please do. I'd love to hear from you. So this kind of thing that Dementia Adventure is doing, I think, is just so wonderful. Even just pottering around the garden and planting a geranium is such again, it's sensory, it's feeling the soil, it's watching something grow.
Yes.
And it strikes me that this is the sort of thing that we need to be happening in all the care homes, where activities can happen every day, where you are stimulated by doing something. We're going there and we're living there. We're not dying there.
Yes,
and
exactly.
we need activities. It's almost like a school schedule. You need to do a bit of a workout. You need to have a bit of a disco in the evening, music playing and these outdoor activities. How do we get that to happen?
Yeah, I think it's great because the culture is really changing. We can really see that in the whole dementia space now, that I think people are much more attuned to giving people the moments and creating those moments of joy for them just to be enlightened. And not forgetting that care homes, that is actually someone's home. We're going into their home. If we're supporting people in a care home, we're actually entering their home. It's no different to you or me coming into each other's homes. We must be respectful of that. But equally at the same time, we want to be able to give them the opportunity so that people can enjoy the normal everyday activities that they would be doing in their home. And that could be having a cup of tea in the garden, just sat on the bench, or it could be sniffing the roses and smelling the scent, or comparing the colours, or doing the seeding, or deadheading the roses. So there's so many different things that are just, they're not even activities, they're just normal everyday living. And it's just understanding that it's fine for people living with dementia with the right support for them to be able to continue to do these. And it's very meaningful, and it just maintains independence and it gives purpose. And I think that's what's really important, that once you have a dementia diagnosis, is to still continue to do things that you can do. And as I said, with the right way and the right hand holding, that can be achieved, and people can have those fantastic moments of joy.
And they are small moments as well, like you said, deadheading the roses. Just going out and, the geraniums when they die, just going and getting those off. It's such a lovely feeling that you're looking after your garden, and the smell as well from geraniums is so fantastic. But it's encouraging that every day, small things are still possible. And I mean, I know you're doing, so you said about the golf and you're doing the tennis thing. Where are you doing the tennis thing?
The tennis thing is going on in Radlett Tennis Club in Hertfordshire. That's going to be our pilot sessions that we're running down there, which will be fantastic, starting in April.
Do you do a tryout first to see how it goes, or do you just go, let's go for it and organise it?
Yeah, we're just going straight in with the kill and going for it. You know, it's kind of like all or nothing. The tennis club are really engaged. They really want to do some, offer some disability tennis. And, you know, we've picked dementia tennis, which is great. We've offered some training and they've undertaken some training. And yeah, we're working in partnership with Hearts Tennis and the Heart Sports Partnership to make this come to fruition, which is just absolutely fantastic.
And how can we find that to come along to?
So that will be advertised on our website with all our other green letter days, which are our days out, and as well as our supported holidays, which are on our website as well.
Yeah, and what are the supported holidays, Danine? Danny?
So the supported holidays are a Monday to Friday, fully inclusive holiday, supported by our volunteers, our fantastic team of volunteers and our adventure leaders. They happen all the way across the UK, right up from Scotland, right down to Cornwall, in the most beautiful locations, fantastic accommodation, a full itinerary. It's all full board, so you don't have to worry about anything. You can just turn up. We even offer the opportunity for people to have a travel buddy if they would like someone to support them moving to the holiday from their home on the train or on the coach or in the car. So we can talk to them about that as well. Everything is fully supported. And the holiday is to encourage people who are living with dementia and their care supporter or their companion to just have that lovely time away from their normal routine.
Yeah.
Reigniting the joys and the passions that they would have had beforehand.
And is that subsidised in any way? Do you pay a huge amount or is it a small amount? Or
yeah, there are subsidies available and there's no restriction or barrier to anyone who has no financial means. So we're always open to conversations and also direct referrals from social workers as well. We're more than happy to speak to them to discuss how we can work something out for somebody. It's all on a case-by-case basis, so no one should feel that the finance is a barrier to coming on a holiday.
Fantastic. And if anybody wants to ring you up, because you've got so many spare minutes in your day. No, I think what you do is absolutely amazing. And Dementia Adventure is such a wonderful charity and gives these glorious days out where, you know, you don't actually have to go and play cricket. You know, it's not such a, I don't know if we're frightening people by saying, we've got to play tennis and golf and cricket. We do, you do normal, nice, gentle tea parties. I came to a tea party once, didn't I? And we just had a lovely tea party in the garden.
Yeah, exactly. Even
ice cream
van. The golf, you know, even the tennis and the golf, you don't have to be county level or national standard.
You could just come.
You could just come. You might never have picked up a tennis racket in your life, but this is something that you might want to try. And it's just connecting with other people. They're all groups. So you're meeting other people as well who are living with a similar situation. And the carers are also having that opportunity to sit and have a coffee and a natter and share stories and learn from each other. And it's all about storytelling and knowledge sharing and lived experience and understanding, oh, this is actually happening to someone else. I'm not alone with this. And in a setting that is not clinical, you know, we're out in a clinical setting. We're in a really lovely outdoor setting. And if it's not sport that kind of floats your boat, then we've got other things going on as well. We've got 2 fantastic garden parties planned for this year. We've got one in Ullswater at a beautiful location called Another Place, which I love the name. I really love that name.
I love Ullswater. It's absolutely beautiful there.
It's beautiful, up in the Lake District.
Yeah.
And it will be a private tour of the garden, a talk by the head gardener, a fantastic lunch, if the weather's allowing, a picnic lunch or a lunch in the conservatory, followed by a fantastic flower arranging workshop. So that's a really beautiful day out. You know, it's not sport. You're outside connecting with nature, enjoying all the flora and fauna that there is outside, the bird song, the sky, the trees, the flowers, the lawns, the colours, everything about it is just so fab. And then we've got another garden party happening in September. So the Oldswater one's in June, and then in September we'll be back down in the sort of south on the East Anglia coast, quite close to Newmarket in Cambridgeshire. And we'll be at a place called Chippenham Park where we'll be having another garden party. So again, a tour with the head gardener, a talk by the head gardener, a lovely lunch, walks around the gardens, and then a flower arranging workshop as well. So some really lovely opportunities to come.
So you have to be mobile to get to these things then? Or you don't have a coach set up or anything like that?
No, unfortunately we haven't got a coach, but so people would have to make their own way.
Right.
But they don't have to necessarily have mobility when they're there. They could be a wheelchair user, and that's absolutely fine.
Great.
So we're choosing places that are inclusive, so wheelchair users are able to use the facilities and the grounds and benefit as well, which is great.
Yeah.
And the really, really amazing thing with all the green letter days is they're all fully funded. And there's no cost for any of them.
Wow. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So if you can get yourself to these places and Google Dementia Adventure and just look at what they're doing, you can find, even if you have one day in 2 months where you're going somewhere special, it's something to look forward to, and it's a joy. I mean, the serotonin, the buzz that I got from coming to Lord's and being with you guys there, just sitting, because it's lots of memories for me as well from my grandparents, and it's just like, it's just was so boosting for about 2 weeks afterwards. That's all you could think about was that green space. And we were so blessed with the sunshine. Danine, you are an amazing woman. Thank you so much for giving me your time today. I can't wait to come and meet you on the next one.
Amazing. We look forward to that. Thank you.
Yeah, and good luck with your parents, and thanks for everything you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Sian. Thank you.
Thanks for talking. Take care.
Bye.